Good afternoon.
Hello. Right, he's through here.
All right. Thank you very much for the waiting. I was getting panicking because it told me that I couldn't get in. So I was about to schedule another one immediately.
Yes.
Technology is not always what it seems. It seems to
Well,
be
it's
either.
working now.
It's working now. Right. Well, thank you very much, Chris.
Okay.
Shall we?
Right.
Shall we? You start whenever just give me 2 ticks, because I have everything upside down in here, just in case I need anything that you might ask me today.
Yeah, right.
So,
Okay. Well, during the last few months when we've had this COVID-19 crisis, it's never been so important for people to be able to use digital technology. And I know you've done an enormous amount to help people from all over the world who are living in this country to master the IT skills that they need. We're now in a society that is going cashless, where elderly people need to order their food and buy things online, and the work that you've done in the past is an enormous contribution to what they're doing. And I think you've been fully vindicated in the area of work which you've specialised in for so many years. Can you tell me what motivated you to Click and Connect for All program, which I think is a highly ambitious project for you to undertake?
it is by when at the outset, it really looked, as you say, as well put it, very ambiguous. However, having been around and with experience, I thought it was something that I could handle, um, not knowing the whole spectrum of students that I was going to have in the classroom. It was a mammoth task because, number one, we have got to consider that the people that we are talking about coming from disadvantaged groups with low attainment of scholarship, and therefore that was the task that I really, to a certain extent, I knew, but I wasn't quite uh, vigorous, in my mind that I could achieve so much in so little time. So I took the challenge and I set myself a pace to embrace this project, the Click and Connect for All. As you already mentioned, it's for old people from minority groups. You know, and of course they have got to integrate in our digital world, which is one of the main difficult and cultural barriers, not only in this country, but from the technical point of view in every country, I should imagine. Um, Knowing that our charity organization was promoting a digital inclusion for seniors from disadvantaged backgrounds and presenting me with the opportunity to put a test in a combined method, teaching method that allowed me to overcome, and for the students also to overcome, the learning difficulties. And it was, for starters, we done this in Clapham Common, as you probably know. You
I
visited
certainly
yourself.
do. I certainly do remember that. I remember coming along and seeing you at work with perhaps 30 different elderly ladies, mostly, if I remember correctly,
That's precise, yes.
from minority groups within the area. And it was wonderful to see you at work with them. There was no fear, no techno fear shown by these people. They had absolute trust in you, and you were going around, and they took real, it was a real joy to see you at work with them. You were highly effective, and I'm sure that, you know, those people would have very quickly gone on to use computers, to be able to do their banking, to order food, to go to Amazon, contact their friends through Facebook. You're opening up an enormous, you're playing an enormous role in their lives doing this, because a lot of these people would have been living on their own with families, grown-up families in different parts of London or around the country. And to see you working with them, I found very exciting. I think you've done an enormous amount. And I think, you know, that at your age, that you're still going forward with new ideas and with new projects is a wonderful inspiration. I'm glad that people are taking some note of what you have achieved and what you're doing.
Well, I sincerely
yes,
hope so. Yeah, I sincerely hope so. Thank you very much for those kind and incentivizing words that you have mentioned. It is true to say that throughout the project, there were people who actually had, they were on their way down with the Alzheimer's and dementia, and the result of today, after all these months that we have been off from the teaching post, the news comes to me that they have actually taken on board what it was done, and somehow the magic wand has happened in their cerebral mass, and perhaps has improved a great deal in the cortex. So that, to me, it's very pleasurable, to say the least. That, you know, in addition, initiating, you know, friendship in the classroom, which probably for some of them was just not existent, because most of them, they feel very lonely. And to me, from the very first day, at the outset, looking at their faces when they walked into Lambeth College, and looking at their faces, they were feeling like little kids. I remember seeing many times, you know, little kids coming into a school and sort of looking around and it seems like they're looking at the seven wonders. And of course, because some of them probably never in their lives had been into a college like that. As you know, the college is well equipped, and that was also one of the instigators for me to take on board what I was going to do, because I had the technology behind me, which helped tremendously. So all in all, from the very first day, to see the happiness of those people walking through the door, looking around and saying, my goodness, you know, they felt so important. And that, to me, was the beginning of everything, Chris.
And what seemed to me was that these were people who've probably been out of the classroom for the best part of 60 years. And yet they were coming back to a learning environment, which I would have thought would have been a bit scary for many of them. But
Absolutely.
It just seemed that they were entirely relaxed, and your teaching methods gave them enormous confidence to learn. And, you know, I think that's an enormous achievement. What I would like to ask you is,
yes.
Do you think your initiatives in this area,
Yes.
should this be replicated? And have you any idea how this could be carried out? I mean,
Yes.
you're a one-man show at the moment.
At the moment, yes.
It's just such a good idea. It's just so wonderful to see what you're doing.
Thank you very much, Chris.
If you had any ideas for extending these.
Yes, definitely. I am inviting the relevant authorities, stakeholders, and the community as a whole to promote and replicate these initiatives of this kind. Um, Older people from minorities suffer from social exclusion, which leads them to loneliness and isolation. So from this point of view, getting them connected will broaden the opportunity not only for this group that I have taken, but for anyone which is out there. And I can see today that looking around, there's been an enormous and a tremendous sale of laptops, tablets, iPads, everything in the industry. You know, you ask for, can I have 20? And they say, well, I've got 2 if you want. And that to me is an indicator that I must be doing something right, or I have done something right. And I would like that to continue, because the way that things are going at the moment, and I hope they're not going for very long for our sake and health, but we have got to think about that life will never be the same as was before, as what it's called now today, the new norm, the new normal. I think it's using technology like the way that we did, and to really having people being able to administer their fingers into either a mouse or a tablet or even a mobile telephone, because they are very, very intelligent these days, these mobile telephones with artificial intelligence. And so this way, they can get opportunities for accessing all, not only the public services which are surrounding us on a daily basis, but giving them independence. And could do shopping online, which is so useful at the moment. Lots of people, they if they are in quarantine, the only way is to get the phone, dial the number, and hello, can I have some bananas and whatever. And so therefore this independence, I think if you can be independent to a certain extent, it's one person that you don't have to ask for a favor. You have got that at your fingertip, which is, and you feel in charge as well. Because if you ask for a favor, then the other person, I think, not necessarily, but has got the upper hand, because they're doing you a favor. And if they say, well, no, not today, tomorrow, but if you want the bananas today because you feel, that you must have the bananas today, vitamin D or vitamin C, whatever the vitamin is, so you probably need to just pick up the phone and just, so I think independence and the learning goes together with it.
I think also one thing crosses my mind. If you want to contact the doctor, and a lot of elderly people will want to do that at times, they will often find that the telephone line is permanently engaged. Whereas if they're with one of these apps like Dr. Link, then they can send an email to their surgery and get somebody to call them, which strikes me as, as a huge bonus, particularly in the time of illness. I mean, that's going to be a very, very valuable idea for them.
I think indeed, Chris, I think you really hit the nail on the head, because one of the things that we started, and I've got it, behind me, which is the whole world connected together, which the project started with how to get online. So basically instructing people what they had to do, and immediately after about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because it's only one lesson a week. I think after 3 weeks, people were starting already communicating with their family. Never mind the doctor at the moment, because obviously in those, in September last year, we were not even thinking about epidemics or pandemics or whatever. But it has now been to the point where, as you well put it, it has been really a tremendous bonus, because now they can get online and they can communicate and type a message to say, you know, I'm suffering from this. Is there anything that you can administer me, blah blah, or send it to me from the chemist, because that's the services are available today. Thank goodness for, you know, collaboration of everybody from the National Health Service. Yeah.
Well, it's been a great pleasure talking to you again, Nuno, and I'm always thrilled when I hear about your initiatives in this area. You're doing a huge amount of good. I'm very grateful to you for what you've done, and I wish you luck with your future work.
Chris,
thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for, you know, asking all these questions, because I'm sure that you are going, this the feedback that I'm giving you probably will benefit also on your endeavors into your future educational projects. And I thank you very much for taking me into that account.
Okay, right. We'll finish there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
have a nice day. Thank you very much.
And you too.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye for
Bye.
now. Bye-bye.